We are live. This is Forrest Jellick with RevolutionPAC covering the 2012 St. Patrick's Day Parade here in Chicago, Illinois, my hometown, my home state. As you can see, we have a little bit of Ron Paul revolution going on here today. Apparently freedom is not popular. Let's ask the crowd. What are we here for today? Apparently Ron Paul has not taken root here in Chicago, Illinois. There's nobody behind me. There's nothing to see. We are boycotting the media blackout here with RevolutionPAC. This is your channel, your voice, and we're going to give you a Liberty perspective. We're going to air this live so you can see the Chicago St. Patrick's today. This is one of the largest parades in the country for St. Patrick's Day, if not the largest. It's a beautiful day in Chicago. It's mid-March. Usually we're in a blizzard. Don't tell anybody how wonderful it's been because you'll all move here. Right now, it's, how warm is it? 70, 80 degrees. It's super warm. It's super amazing. We have some of the other RevPAC panelists here. I think we have Lisa Wogan. Lisa Wogan! There! I think this might be a familiar face for those that have been watching the RevPAC.
It's without an S.
It's without an S. Lisa Wogan.
Are we live?
We are live. How are you doing?
I'm very good.
So what are we doing here today?
We are getting Chicago fired up to vote for Ron Paul on March 20th, our primary. And, getting the word out about voting for the delegates and just having fun.
That's right. And as opposed to other channels here with all the signs coming up behind us, this is how different we are. We love it. We want more signs behind us. You guys get behind us, send your message, send your voice to the channel. I don't know. I think we have a couple hundred people here today.
I think we do. I think, people are, they're fired up. I think hopefully everyone will be like talking to people along the parade route and, talking up Ron Paul. And it sounds like Barack Obama's going to be here maybe, or...
There is some rumor that he might be here. We don't know for sure, but we're not too worried about that.
No, of course not.
This is Ron Paul country in Chicago.
Yeah.
Is this Ron Paul country? Yeah! Yeah! Ron who? Ron who? Obviously not. So, let's come back and let's take a look at the float here. We want to show you some of the float and then we'll interview some of the people here and get their voice. So, come along. Now this is our float, and the first thing you're going to see, this was a typical Ron Paul grassroots movement. We had nothing to do with the campaign. This was done voluntarily by a couple people in it. That's right, President Paul. This was voluntarily done by some folks, and you see some young, hopeful revolutionaries on the float. We're going to let the kids ride with us on the float, and we have a few of our founding fathers up there. Founding fathers, what do you think about Ron Paul? Ron Paul, a modern-day Thomas Jefferson. So we'll give you a little bit tour of the float right here. We've got the kids in the front. We've got his message along the sign, all hand-built. We have to give a shout-out to bushworks.com, who actually helped make our signs, our banners, some of our literature. And, of course, RevolutionPAC, who's going to be streaming this live today. We'll be rebroadcasting this, and people will be able to see themselves on this. Let's go around to the back side of the float. Oh, you can come in. This is just fine. So the back of the float here, strong with Ron Paul's message. Bringing the troops home, a strong non-interventionist foreign policy, balancing the budget, reduce the taxes, and secure our liberties. Ron Paul, at the bottom, we have a bunch of super brochures and literature. We have actually, if I can find one, we're going to be passing out, we have over 5,000 of these today that we plan on getting rid of. Every single one during the parade. And on the back is a nice little gold coin, chocolate candy for the kids. Not real, if it was real gold, I think we'd be on the beach somewhere. We'd be on the beach taking a vacation. So we're going to be passing these out for the kids, a very strong child message. We support kids, we love kids, help get them in the movement, and give this to their parents. So, very nice. We'll take you to the other side of the float, and then we'll interview some people on the ground. So as you can see, same message on the sign, ronpaul2012.com. Direct them to his website. Wave to the camera, kids. Say hi. Hey.
Say Ron Paul, come on.
Ron Paul. That's right. And of course, we've got our founding fathers representing the founding tenants. Give us a that's right. We've got our founders strong. We also have a group of veterans with us today. A great event. This is going to be fantastic. You're going to be with us. I'm sorry, my eyes are a little squinty. It's very bright out here. We'd normally be in a lot of snow, but this is wonderful. I'm going to show you up. We'll go talk to some of our veterans leading the parade today. We actually had a gentleman from Calgary drive this convertible down here today just to be in the Ron Paul parade. It's pretty fantastic. Choice for president. And who's your second choice for president? Well, let's go interview him. We think we got some Ron Paul fans here. I think we do. So I actually know this lady. She's actually volunteered her duties in the 4th Congressional District as a volunteer. Would you introduce yourself to our audience today?
Hi, I'm Ann. I'm a Ron Paul supporter from the 7th District.
Now, how old are you, Ann?
19.
She's 19 years old. And what have you done for the campaign so far in our district?
We've done phone banking, canvassing door to door, doing these parades.
She's being very modest. She said we, but I think I've seen her at just about every single event we've done. We actually hand wrote out a bunch of brochures, addresses on the brochures.
Yeah, we did. How many? A couple thousand?
Yeah.
1,000?
Yeah. And sent those out directly to people. And she's been
Awesome Ron Paul is. Every policy is sound. Foreign policy, economic policy, freedom, just everything.
Freedom. She's 19 years old, and I'll tell you what, she has acted like a veteran this whole time. She's been really, and I don't say that lightly, she's been amazing in our campaign. And so I thank you very much and appreciate we'll be catching more of you today and rebroadcasting so you can see yourself. You're doing great, and it's great to have you here today. Hi, what's your name?
Danielle.
Hi, and what are you here for? What are you here for today?
To support Ann and Ron Paul. Woo!
And I hear you have a homemade pole on the back of it. I just put my microphone to the back of her shirt like Paul was going to talk on the back. That was a pretty rookie maneuver. So how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
It's a perfect day. Now, is there anything about Ron Paul that you really appreciate?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, with a homemade Ron Paul shirt, that's all we need to know. That's fantastic. So that's great. Well, thank you for coming out today. We'll be covering you through the parade, so it's good to have you out. And actually, we have a guest here. Where did you come from today?
I came from Atlanta, Georgia, to represent Ron Paul.
So for those people during the Georgia primary that we just had that didn't vote for Ron Paul, she obviously is not one of them.
That's right.
She came all the way up here to be part of the parade today, and this is fantastic. Actually, I think we have another special guest. We're going to come back here. We're going to come back and get the veterans, but then we have someone else we got to cover here. So come around. Rumor has it that we have a group of veterans here for Ron Paul today. Come on up here. You are indeed a veteran, correct?
Yes, I am. Marine Corps.
Go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience.
Oh, I'm Scott Litzo. I'm out here with the veterans today. I served in the Marine Corps from 06 to 2010. Did a lot of stuff with them. I'm out here honored to be with these guys today. It's going to be a great parade, and we're just trying to get the word out.
Now, who's going to lead our parade today?
Well, the veterans are going to be leading the parade today, and it's going to be awesome. We're so honored to be here and do this. It's going to be great.
Do you have a banner you could show our audience out there? I know that we have a banner here for the veterans.
Love to have a banner.
It's coming up. So
bring up the banner.
Bring up the banner. Veterans for Ron Paul. Let's see this. Come on, vets.
Beautiful. Oh.
Good thing that's not like the flag. Bring it out. So this is the actual banner that we have today, where they're going to take lead point through our parade. They're going to march us down, followed by the beautiful classic Buick, and then the parade itself. The veterans are the ones that obviously put their life on the line to defend the Constitution. These veterans in particular know what that's all about. Scott, I know that you're one of the organizers for this today, so how do you feel today?
I feel great. It's good to have all these people turn out, and we're just ready to show everybody, Ron Paul all day, and choice of the troops, and that's what we need to do today.
He sounds like he's got a Marine Corps voice. You sound like somebody that knows how to get a march going.
I do know how to get a march going. That's why we're ready to kick this off.
This is fantastic. Well, thanks. We're going to be following you today, so thanks for coming out.
All right, awesome.
I believe we have someone else special here today, too. Ladies and gentlemen, she needs no introduction. Fellow RevPAC pundit and Lady Liberty, Erin Gallegly.
I couldn't get this to work. I put batteries in and no lights.
We have no... Lady Liberty's here.
So
that's enough of a light.
We'll have to light it up with our energy.
How are you today?
Good.
You guys may recognize Erin. She looks a little different today. She's very statuesque,
yes.
As always, more so than always.
Yes.
Are you excited?
Very excited. The weather, you couldn't ask for better weather.
I'm going to call you out, though. You're a little late. It took a while to get into the copper patina?
Well, I kept trying to iron this, and it wasn't really working,
The ironing.
I've been through these parades, too, and there's a long wait before it starts, so I figured I had a little leeway of time.
Obviously, she's not a rookie in the parade things like most of us today, but this is pretty exciting. This is a pretty huge turnout.
Great crowd. A lot of energy, a lot of Ron Paul supporters, but that's no surprise because they're everywhere.
Imagine that. And as a matter of fact, when we were stationed earlier, a lot of people came by and they were really excited to see our Ron Paul parade, and us in the parade. We are the last position in the parade as it stands right now. I think we're going to be the last one. So, yeah.
Well, we're going to end it with a bang.
we will end this one with a bang. So you are going to take point on top of the float, and we'll be catching you and getting you. So
All right, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
happy St. Pat's. As always, the lovely Erin Gallagly, one of our favorite Liberty mavens. She's going to be covering as Lady Liberty today. So let's go talk to some of the other folks here in the parade today and get their opinion on what's happening. Sir,
What's happening?
how are you?
Great.
Your hands
Great.
full? You're live right now. Would you like to be interviewed?
Please.
So, you're here obviously for Rick Santorum. How does it feel?
Pretty terrible. that was true.
You're here for...
I'd be ashamed. I'm here for Ron Paul.
Ron Paul. Okay, we got that corrected quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how does it feel today? Introduce yourself to the audience.
Brian Levinson. I live in Chicago. Here with my girlfriend and my roommate Jordan.
Come on in, guys. Come on in. We'll make this a whole gang bunch. It's just fun.
Kimberly and Jordan.
Yeah, Ron Paul. Woo!
And you are?
I'm Kimberly Frank.
Jordan Yates.
So, Jordan, Kimberly, and Brian.
Yep.
So what brings you here today other than Ron Paul? Fun, St. Patrick's, everything, or is it just Liberty? What is it?
It's really Ron Paul. I mean, I would not be up early, ready to go, and just out and about, ready to get sunburned. I'm ready to show people Ron Paul.
And Kimberly, how about you?
Well, I'm here to be a cheerleader for Ron Paul because Ron Paul obviously needs a cheerleader.
Yeah, he has plenty of cheerleaders, but I think she's going to do a fantastic job. This is great, and I love the flag, defender of the Constitution. She's ready to go. Jordan.
Hey, buddy. Why am I here? For Ron Paul, only for Ron Paul. I mean, I've been to the parade several times before, but this time is different because I've never actually got to walk in the parade, and to do it for Ron Paul, I'd get up at 6 in the morning if I had to.
Now, rumor has it you made your own custom jersey, so why don't you show our audience?
I did. This is my baseball jersey. I was thinking this morning the only thing I'm missing is my baseball bat because Ron Paul's a heck of a baseball player, so...
And he's a great baseball player, and I think he has a number, too. What's the number?
Oh, definitely. Number 1. The only number. The only number.
So, to tell you a little bit, I actually know Jordan because he's worked in the 4th Congressional District as one of the volunteers for the Ron Paul campaign for the delegates. He's amazing. He's fantastic. He actually set up our call center voluntarily, lent his time and space. Is there anybody you'd like to say hi to or anything you'd like to plug while you're here?
Hi, Ron Paul. You walked by me down in Champaign. Didn't get to shake your hand, but it was a pleasure just seeing you live and hearing your message. It never gets old. Never gets old.
And Kimberly?
Ron Paul.
Simple. She's a woman of very few words, but profound. Brian?
Peace. Please do your job. Keep doing what you're doing. It's amazing. Help bring the troops home and send your message. You're doing just great work, and sing it loud, sing it proud. People are listening more and more every single day. People I talk to have got signs in my car. People give me a thumbs up. They're happy. They're taking photos. They're so encouraged, and people are starting to talk about it. Even if they're for someone else at the time, they're proud to say they're encouraged by my enthusiasm and Ron Paul, what he's doing. So just keep it up, Ron, please.
And as he said, peace, this is perfect. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Kimberly. And your hands are full. Fantastic cheerleader, Jordan. Always a pleasure. Thank you. We'll be catching you through the parade. So let's go let's talk to some other folks here. We have a little skater, keeps coming through. How you guys doing today?
Doing well.
What's your name, sir?
Kevin.
Would you like to introduce you? We're live streaming right now. Would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Sure. What do you want me to say?
Anything you feel. Why are you here today?
I'm here today because we're supporting Ron Paul for President 2012.
It's a pretty amazing day. When's the last time in March that we ever had weather like this? Can you remember?
I cannot because I'm actually originally from California and I go to school in Pennsylvania, and my friend over there has a plane, and we flew last night from an hour north of Pittsburgh into Aurora, and then came over to West Chicago and then drove down here this morning.
I'm almost speechless. That's fantastic. So you guys actually flew in your own plane here to come through Pittsburgh and come out here for the Ron Paul parade today.
Yes, we did that in a little 4-passenger single-engine plane, yes.
And how was that? Fun?
Yeah, it was great. It's like 4 hours non-stop. We just barely made it in with enough fuel. It was great.
Please don't crash. We need Ron Paul, all the Ron Paul supporters we get. Can we convince you to put a banner on the back and take one all the way back?
Yeah, we're working on doing that. But, hopefully next time Obama's in town, they won't make this giant no-fly zone, which delays the flight.
That's what caused the problem, Obama coming into town?
Well, we don't know where he is, but the Secret Service released this giant no-fly zone around O'Hare and the other airport, so.
Almost seems like it's a problem anytime the government goes anywhere into any town, frankly.
Yeah, I'd have to say it's the same. It's pretty costly to have a bureaucrat fly around.
That's right.
It's unfortunate.
Well, it's great having you today. We'll be talking and watching you through it, and we'll be rebroadcasting so you can see yourself throughout the day. So,
great.
All right, fantastic. We got somebody here. He keeps stepping to the signs. He's excited. He's got. What do you have? What's your name, sir?
I'm Danny Lewis. I live in Glen Ellen.
All right. So here in Illinois, and you are here today for
Dr. Ron Paul, President Paul.
That's right. And so what do you have in your hand? What are you going to be passing out today?
These are Ron Paul's Super Bowl shirts, and they have candy. It's for the kids. Basically tells all of Ron Paul's platform and why he deserves to be the President of the United States.
That's right. And so you came from Glen Ellen today. Fantastic warm weather today. Was there anything else you'd rather be doing today?
No, other than sign bombing for Ron Paul, that's about it. You know, we've been doing some sign bombs. I'm part of DuPage County for Ron Paul, and you know, we've had some pretty good turnouts, and we've had a lot of honks. So,
from the state, my friend Marty here is actually running for local office. He's a big Ron Paul supporter, and I think we're going to get him next. So we will see you throughout the day.
And I got to meet Ron Paul on when he was at University of Illinois a few days ago. He shook my hand. He signed my Liberty Defined book. It was like meeting a rock star. It was awesome.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm glad I was there too, and it was a great event. Thanks for coming out today. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you throughout the event, and we'll restream this. Let's go talk to Marty Phelan. He's running in local office here. And this is part of the movement that I think Ron Paul's talking about when he says that it's not just about him, but it's about other people. Marty Phelan, yes, sir. Would you step down here for a second, sir? We are live streaming with RevolutionPAC.com right now, and I was just telling them about Marty Phelan, who is here running for local office. Would you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yeah, of course I will. Hi, everybody. I'm Marty Phelan. I live in the West Loop, and I've been a pro-liberty activist for probably about 5 years now, since I first learned about Ron Paul. Really opened my eyes to some of the real ideas that basically form the foundation for what real conservatism is compared to what a lot of others would say that it is. And there's obviously a big difference of opinion between the mainstream versus the pro-liberty movement, but at the end of the day, it's something I believe in very, very profoundly. And I think particularly from the Chicago standpoint, with the way that this city is run, if anything's ever going to change, we got to get some people in there with different ideas, and I'm that guy.
And he is that guy, and I can attest for Marty because he's actually campaigned and helped me in my district run. I've known him for years now. He's a true liberty guy, and I think this is one of the things that Ron Paul was talking about. It's not just about him, it's about the movement, and people like Marty that are going to step up to the plate, help take back true conservative principles. And if you got a moment, would you talk to our audience a little about the issues that you think most important to you?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, on the national scale, I think that probably the two most important things are our foreign policy and monetary policy. Interestingly enough, I'm going to talk about monetary policy first, just in the fact that it doesn't really get a whole lot of time. People don't talk about it very much. But considering that money is actually half of every transaction that is ever conducted, it's kind of an important thing to talk about. And all you got to do is to take a look at history, all the different currencies that have risen and fallen throughout history, and you recognize that the dollar is kind of on that same path. So sound money and the ability to actually know that the money that you earn is going to be worth the same amount, if not more, tomorrow rather than less through inflation is a very, very important thing. But also from the foreign policy standpoint, I think it's really important that people know that you can't really look at a problem like the debt and all the spending without evaluating how we're spending money on foreign policy. And so the two are very closely intertwined, very much like you and I have discussed about the very inseparable link between economic and personal freedom.
Which they are totally inseparable, and most people don't understand that. Now, is there a Facebook page or something you could direct people to, or anything that you'd like to tell them so they could find out more about you, maybe if they're from the area, to help your out campaign? I know it's just a few days away. It's very tight. We don't have a lot of time yet.
Here,
so anything that you could direct them to, or?
Yeah, I do have a Facebook page for my campaign. It's just Marty Phelan for Chicago's 2nd Ward Committeeman. And if you were to also hook up with the Cook County Campaign for Liberty, there's some links on that as well. And those would be probably the easiest ways to find out a little bit more about what's happening. And my opponent, who is basically a Democrat who's running as a Republican and has no interest in liberty or anything else like that whatsoever. So.
And this is true. This is actually, I've seen some of the stuff floating around about that. So kind of a wolf in sheep's clothing, looks like, or
exactly.
Which would not be uncommon for, unfortunately, Chicago area politics.
Yeah, actually, for anybody who's been living in Chicago for a long time, they'll recognize that the Republican Party has had no voice whatsoever. And a lot of pro-liberty activists don't really see much of a difference between Republicans and Democrats, but especially here in Chicago, it's just Democrat all the time. So what's important is that we get a voice of opposition to basically try to pull the reins back in on what the Democrats are doing here in Chicago, because, you hear about things like red light cameras. Well, you know what? If that's a problem, why not extend the yellow light time?
Which studies show that actually reduces accidents and incident rates.
Exactly. So you put a red light camera in and you shorten the yellow light time, and the accidents go up and the city makes a lot of money. Go figure, right? That's kind of how they operate. But things like that, increased taxes that are driving jobs out of Chicago and Illinois, someone's got to go ahead and step up and say that something's got to change if we're ever going to have the type of prosperity that we had in this town before. So.
And I'm going to have to add, it's Phelan, P-H-E-L-A-N, Marty Phelan. I always say Phelan, but it's Phelan. Unfortunately, I'm not Irish. I love the Irish, but I'm Bohemian descent. So
you are Irish today.
I am Irish today. That's right, and I'm with one of my best Irish Liberty buddies. So Marty Phelan, you guys want to check him out, support him if you can. He's a great guy. I stand by him. Check him out. We'll be catching more of you today. So thanks, buddy.
Sounds great. Thanks, everybody.
Right.
Go Ron Paul.
That's Ron Paul. Zach Fivenson. There's another. If I might interrupt here. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is no joke. This is Zach Fivenson, one of my best friends here in Chicago.
Joke.
We just lost him, and he's actually somebody that's I've really admired in my liberty movement and growth in pursuit of this movement. Zach, how are you today?
I'm swell. How are you?
Great. I met Zach actually through the Ron Paul movement here, and he's been he was formerly, I won't steal too much thunder, but he was formerly a Democrat who came over to the Ron Paul message through the non-interventionist foreign policy, was very active in the anti-war movements here and so forth. I've been to events with him like that, and I always appreciated how he approached people. He'll approach anybody, he likes to talk, and he really likes to get at the issues. So Zach, why are you here today?
Well, clearly I'm here not to support Ron Paul at all. This seems like it'll be a great event. The people that organized this did a fantastic job. There's a huge turnout. We're all here to, support Ron Paul and specifically, or more importantly, the philosophy of liberty. This is not a cult of personality for Ron Paul. We like Ron Paul because of the issues that he advocates for. Individual liberty. Smaller government, more prosperity. He brings up the importance of, our monetary policy, and he questions, why are we fighting all these wars? Why are we spending all this money overseas when, our needs here at home are so important? So, that's why I'm here. I want to bring attention to those issues and get people to sort of pay attention and think about it.
And can you remember the moment where you transitioned and said, I've got to look at this Ron Paul guy? Would you like to share that?
Sure. I remember it, with great clarity. It was in the South Carolina presidential debate in 2007. Ron Paul pointed out, that he pointed out that we were attacked on 9/11 because of our foreign policy, because we are over there inciting. We've been bombing. We with sanctions. There's a long history of our involvement overseas, and blowback was the result. And he was attacked by Rudy Giuliani in particular, and really the entire establishment at the debate attacked him and booed him. And at the time, I was thinking about voting for a Democrat, and I was just so impressed that he stood for, with conviction for these principles. And even after he took all those boos, he came back, he explained himself, he didn't back down, and that was when I sort of started paying attention to him as a Republican and thinking, wow, he really makes a lot of sense. Maybe I can change from voting Democrat, which I'd done for the prior two elections, to actually voting for a Republican. I started paying attention to him. I started researching him, finding out all of his different positions, and it was that debate that really woke me up.
Now, is there anything, one last thing you'd like to tell our listeners? Because I've watched you on the street, and you'll approach anybody, and you always have a really nice soft sell. I really appreciate it. We were together in Iowa at the straw poll, and I saw how you worked with people there and on the street in Chicago. What would you recommend to them in ways that they could approach people in a very positive manner?
Well, I think the most important thing, if you're ever trying to engage someone and discuss, politics or why they should consider supporting Ron Paul, you have to relate to them based on the issues that matter to them. So I usually start out by asking them, what is your criteria for choosing who you're going to vote for? What issues are important to you? And then relate, Ron Paul's message of liberty to those issues. I mean, I'm mostly motivated by the anti-war, anti-corruption angle for Ron Paul, but other people, they have different priorities. It could be a pro-life voter. It could be someone who, it could be any number of things. And the trick is just to find out, what really motivates them, and then relate that to Ron Paul.
Well, thank you very much, Zach. We're going to be following you out through the day, so it's always good seeing you.
Thanks
Unfortunately,
so much,
you bet, anytime. Unfortunately, Zach is moving away for us. He's moving up to Vancouver. We're going to miss him, but he came in town for this event with us, and we're going to send him off in a good way. So thanks, Zach. It's always a pleasure, my friend.
Thank you for it. Thank you, RevPAC.
Go Ron Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, again, that was my friend Zach Fivenson, just a really great guy, somebody I've learned a lot from in his way he can approach people. It's great. This movement, the thing that I love about this movement, when you look around here today and you see all the people here, we have a whole mix of people. I mean, we've got kids, we've got older folks, we have veterans, we have young folks, we've got a cowboy driving a convertible, friends of signs. We got my friend Amy I'm going to bring here in a moment. She's a yogi. I mean, it's just, it brings us all together. That message of liberty, it's not about individuals, it's not about division, it's not about races, religions, colors, anything that people use to divide. It's about the individual. And you see in the media the story, they'll never tell you that. It's always Republican versus Democrat, or they may call you libertarian, all these division lines. But at the end of the day, the concept of liberty is something that transcends all of that, and it's so important. So with that, we're going to take a little break here. We're going to go ahead and transition so you can see some of the work of Revolution PAC. We're going to come back. We're going to have this parade, and it's going to be fantastic. So thank you for tuning into Revolution PAC's coverage of the 2012 Chicago St. Patrick's Day Parade.
To choose the best Republican candidate, first establish the candidates that are of basic moral character. Then select only the candidates that poll well nationally against Obama in a head-to-head general election. Of these remaining candidates, which has presented a plan that balances the budget, pays down the debt, rejects corporate socialism, and will protect constitutional rights? The choice is clear. The best candidate, Ron Paul.
We were brought up loving our country and our Constitution. That in the United States of America, we were free. And that's an attitude that we've tried to instill in our children. I met my wife while in the Air Force. I was a combat pilot in Vietnam. I served in Desert Storm as a commander. When I graduated from the academy, I took the oath of office. And as a commander, I administered that oath to many people. Now I wonder about the understanding people have of our Constitution, and I think about our candidates for President of the United States. It's interesting to see the support Ron Paul gets from the military. And if we think back to the code of conduct and people raising their right hand that they were going to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, why would those same people support in great numbers Ron Paul? I think it's because they know that he supports the Constitution of the United States. It doesn't mean you have to go to war to do it. It means you have to understand what the Constitution is and be a supporter inside of your own country, whether you're in the military or not, of that Constitution, and make the United States strong. And Ron Paul does that. That's his feeling, that's his thrust. And that's why if you look at the percentages that support him in the military, it's huge. Why is that? Because they've raised their right hands and they're putting their lives on the line for us here in the United States. And they know that Ron Paul does the same.
It was between 1972 and 73, but it was still a lot of prejudice around this area. My wife was sick and I was trying to get some attention for her. Nobody came to check. They just left her there. Well, I believe I was left there because of the difference, me being black and her being white. And every time I would say something to the head nurse, she would get pretty upset. And then she finally called the Freeport Police Department said I was harassing her. And I mean, I didn't know anything to do. Well, then Ron Paul come to my rescue. He just stepped in and went to work with my wife. And after he seen her, I'd say no more than 10 minutes later, she had a stillborn boy child. And he said as far as the bill, he would take care of everything, which he did. I never got a bill from the hospital or anything. And he was a doctor of medicine, and that's what he was doing, was practicing medicine, and it didn't matter who and what and why. He was doing it because he think of one human being just as much as another one. He's just an honest man, and that's something we need now in this day and time. It's a lot of politics and no honesty. When you have honesty, well, people will try to do anything to blot you out. And that's what they will try to do to him, is blot him out, because he will be honest. And they need more like him.
This national poll shows that Ron Paul is the best candidate that stacks up against Obama.
Well, Ron Paul wants to take away my Social Security, so I don't like him.
He's actually the only candidate that has a real plan to save your Social Security. Not only save it, but save the purchasing power of your monthly check.
Prices have been going up a lot lately.
We need to make cuts, bring our troops home to protect our own shores and borders, and rebuild our economy. Every other Republican candidate has proposed massive spending increases, not cuts.
And you say he can beat Obama?
He's got independents and young people coming out like no other candidate. The polls also show that he attracts some Democrats. It's time we start thinking about what kind of world we want to leave for the next generation.
I can make up my own mind, Martin. I don't need a lecture.
Click here to donate. The views and opinions presented on this broadcast do not necessarily represent the views of Ron Paul or the Ron Paul presidential campaign. They are solely the views of the hosts, guests, and panelists. This broadcast is paid for by the Revolution PAC. To choose the best Republican candidate, first establish the candidates that are of basic moral character. Then select only the candidates that poll well nationally against Obama in a head-to-head general election. Of these remaining candidates, which has presented a plan?
Welcome back to the 2012 coverage of the St. Patrick's Day Parade here in Chicago, Illinois. Thank you for joining us here at Revolution PAC as we cover the parade for Ron Paul. Actually, this is fantastic. So I believe I have an interview here. Kristen, come in here.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
I'm Kristen Edwards, and I'm a Chicagoan here and a veteran, obviously representing Ron Paul. And I just wanted to be able to take a second to announce, those of you that have been following, we're doing a Veterans March on the RNC in August, so please look for that event on Facebook. And I will provide to Forrest as soon as I have the date solidified. I'm organizing a large fundraising event, Run for the Revolution, 5K run walk, veterans, civilians, family members, so got people on board to come by. So as soon as I have that date, I have a meeting with the city next week. I'll let everybody know.
A very active way to support Ron Paul, and I think you have a very special sign here today. So would you like to
see? So, yep, she made this last night. I'll be carrying this in the front of the parade.
And so what is occurring in the front of the parade today?
We have a bunch of veterans that are representing, and we actually have a disabled Vietnam vet that's going to be riding on the float with you who was able to come out. So look for us, look for our banner, and those of you, anyone watching live streaming, if you are in the sidewalks, please join us, jump in. If you're a Ron Paul supporter, we got room for you.
Now, what branch of the military did you serve in?
The Air Force. Hold your jokes, please.
Hold your, I'm not sure what that means. I didn't serve in the Air Force.
In service. We're kind of known as the Chair Force.
The chair sheet. Well, you served in the Air Force, and I think that's just fine. You got a wonderful sign here today. Are you excited? I mean, it's pretty amazing today.
I am very excited, and we're very blessed with this weather here, so I'm ready. I'm ready for this thing to start rolling, and I don't know if you saw the Power Rangers, but I tried to recruit them into our float also.
The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? We try to get power. It's Morphin time. We're trying to get them in the parade apps. They may apparently be fans of Obama Santorum. They're not with us, but we'll try working on them.
All right, I might have to take back that offer.
We'll find out. All right. Well, thank you very much for being here today. It's lovely having you. All right. So that's another veteran for Ron Paul. Also, we have to take a moment to thank from Christian's family, Allison, Evan, and Aaron. I have a sign up there. I couldn't remember them. Much love from Christian. Those guys are working really hard behind the booth. The people behind the Revolution Pack you don't see. You get to see my mug. Sorry about that. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that do a great job, and they work really hard. Aaron behind the camera, you don't see Aaron, I'm waving to you. He gave me a thumbs up. He's out here working, sweating pretty hard with a heavy camera on his face. As a matter of fact, we have somebody here from behind the scenes usually. Maria, why don't you come on over here? Maria, come on over here. Give me a big hug.
This guy is awesome. Isn't he not the best reporter ever?
I'm not the best reporter ever, but you are very nice, very nice. So why don't you introduce yourself to the audience?
Sure. My name is Maria Trzaski, and I've been working with the RevPAC ever since they started their broadcast, on and off. But I think it's a fantastic way to get Ron Paul's message out and to boycott the MSN because we've had enough of the blackout, and it's about time. We have awesome people reporting the awesome news of Ron Paul and freedom and liberty, and everybody should know about it. So make sure you tell everyone to go to revolutionpack.com to watch this awesome parade today in Chicago.
Yeah, and it's a good point. To the right of your screen, folks should click on those buttons and share it. Put it up on your Facebook. We'll restream that, tweet it, do whatever you can to go ahead and get that message out. We'll make sure to keep your liberty perspective in mind. We'll be honest about it. We're biased. We're biased towards liberty, but then again, everyone should be. Yep. So did you come here with anybody today?
I did. I came with my brother and my son, he's right there. Let's see if we can get a shot of him.
So as you can see, we've got the Ron Paul. She's going to go show her son. This is the Ron Paul. Wave hi. There we go. This is the section where we've got kids up there for Ron Paul. A lot of the parents brought their kids out, so this is a family event. It's a fun event. The weather's fantastic for it. It's really the message of liberty is for everybody. It's for kids. It's for parents. It's for adults. The in-betweeners.
Everyone. I mean, freedom brings people together, and it's just amazing to have a great same mindset. And everybody's awesome. I can't say enough about it.
Are you going to be passing out brochures and candy to the kids along the route?
Possibly, but there's a lot of people that do that, so I might just be, the convertible's not here now, but I think I'm going to be hanging out in the convertible, waving and throwing out some brochures, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe I'll have to join him in the convertible. That sounds like a nice slushy ride. No, we'll save that one for the ladies. Lovely ladies, you can have the seats.
Definitely. Thank you, Forrest.
Well, and anybody else you'd like to give a shout out or anything you'd like to say to the audience out there today?
No, just remember to vote. Make sure you vote for those delegates come Tuesday, and that's the most important thing to do is vote. Vote those delegates in, and keep doing what we're doing. Keep getting the message out. Keep talking to people that you know and you don't know. The message of freedom is not scary. If you present it in the right way, everybody's going to be open to it. So just keep pushing. Do not give up. No matter what you see on television, you keep tuned in here, RevPAC, and we are going to bring you the right source of information. And be sure to donate, because this is how we stay alive, by your donations.
Well, thank you. She's usually behind the scenes helping us out. It was great bringing you up front. So good seeing you. She brought up something very, very important. We're going to have another interview here in a second, but I just want to remind people, here in Illinois, this Tuesday, March 20th, we have our primary. There's two things that people can vote for. You can vote for President Paul on the primary ballot, which is just a beauty contest. It really doesn't matter. What you want to go to is you want to go to the delegates. You want to go and search for the delegates with the Ron Paul name next to it. You may not know the delegates, but those are people sworn to go to the convention to vote for Ron Paul. That's what you want to vote for. So on Tuesday, Sunday, Monday, call your friend. Make sure you're out there on Tuesday, but on Sunday and Monday, you want to call all of your friends. You want to say, get out to vote for Ron Paul, vote for those delegates. So I have another interview coming up. Kyle, come on up. How you doing?
Pleasure.
Great. Well, introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi, my name's Kyle Laughlin. I'm 26 years old, just a Ron Paul supporter from Des Plaines, Illinois.
So he's from Des Plaines, and what brings you to Ron Paul's message?
Everything. Freedom brings people together, as is repeated so often in the Ron Paul camp, and it's absolutely true. There's nothing more endearing about the fact that we all own ourselves and the principle of non-aggression and just treating others the way we want to be treated.
You know, and I think I just realized that there is an environmental movement that we can all get behind, and that's reduce your government footprint. I do believe that we found the environmental movement that most of us Liberty folks can get behind. Now, have you seen Ron Paul recently by any chance?
I have. I just saw him speak at University of Illinois in Champaign.
Now, what did you think of that today? How did it feel to be inside of there? We covered that, but what was your feelings?
The energy there was unbelievable. It was something I will never forget for as long as I live. It was absolutely, I don't have words for it.
Was there anything in particular, was that the first time you've seen him speak? And if so, was there anything in particular that he said that really caught your attention?
Yeah, it was the first time I've ever seen him speak, and I just found it very interesting how he was able to capture so many undecided voters. I saw that there were many there, and a lot of them left seemingly very convinced that he was the right candidate for them. So I just thought he handled the speech very well.
Well, and the trick that we were just mentioning to the audience was a lot of young kids, and he says a lot of undecideds, is to get them out on Tuesday to make sure that they vote for the delegates on that ballot. Do you plan on voting on Tuesday?
Absolutely.
And you're going to make sure to check the delegate box and the Ron Paul box?
Sure will, and I'm telling everybody I know.
I didn't even have to prompt him. He knew exactly what to do. He's going to call all of his friends. And is there anybody else you'd like to say hi to while you're here?
Hi to all of the liberty-minded people out there and all the undecided voters. Vote Ron Paul.
Vote Ron Paul and reduce your government footprint. Kyle, it was great seeing you. Thanks. We're going to be covering you today, and we'll be rebroadcasting so you can watch later. So keep up the great work. Another person we saw at you have University of Chicago, University of Illinois Champaign-Urbana. I haven't even had a drink today. It's St. Patrick's Day. That part's a sin. That's probably the problem. Maybe after this I'll have a beer and celebrate St. Patrick's Day, but right now we have to work. But it's great being here with you. This is your voice, your Liberty Channel. I've got mush mouth. Let's see if we can fix that. So let's go back and take a look at the float. Let's do another round of the float for those that just might be tuning in. As you can see, we had volunteers put together this float. We have a section for the kids up front. This is the future. Hi, kids. Hey, wave the flags. Hello. Say hi to Mom and Dad. We'll be able to watch it later. A bunch of wonderful young kids with the Ron Paul spirit. Yeah, hi guys. So are you here to support Ron Paul today? Ron Paul. Wow, I just asked, they answered. That's true. Well, you guys look great. Say hi, Ron Paul. That's great. So we'll go ahead and walk around the float. We'll be covering you, and you can watch the stream later, kids. I hope so. If he's got time, that'd be great. The question was, do you think Ron Paul's watching? Well, he's probably really busy right now, but if he gets a chance, it'd be great to have him watch. You can take a look at the float here. This was actually handmade by one of the gentlemen, and I hope to get him. His name's Tony. I hope to be able to find him in the crowd here and get him and talk about it. Volunteered his time, efforts, energy, and just put this together. It was truly fantastic. In the back, we have a bunch of super brochures and Slim Jims that we're going to pass out along the parade route. We have over 5,000. Our intention is to empty all those boxes by the end of the parade. We'll see what we can do. We have quite a few people here, a lot of hands willing to help. I'm pretty excited about this event. Once we get going, I think people are going to be riled up. Get those hands and get the message out. We're also going to remind people, hey, make sure you vote for those delegates. Pull that delegate card on Tuesday on our primary election to make sure that they can go ahead and get voted in. I'm going to bring you over to someone else that's very special and dear to my heart, who's worked very hard in our campaign in the 4th Congressional District. Amy Hagerstrom, come on over here. She's all shy. Give me a hug. It's just Forrest. How are you? This is Amy Hagerstrom, one of my really good dear friends here in the 4th Congressional District. She's one of our anchor women. She really showed up to just about every event, passionate, fun, happy. Amy, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
And what do you do besides spending your time, an enormous amount of time, trying to help the Ron Paul campaign from a grassroots level? What do you do?
I'm a yoga teacher.
She is a yoga teacher, and I did take, I made fun of in the last broadcast we had, I made fun of my head down dog. It's not because of her, it's just because this 2x4 needs some work. She's helped me work on it. And I think you set up a Facebook page, is that correct?
I did.
I think it's time you probably should start letting that cat out of the bag and sharing it. What is it?
Ron Paul Yogis.
Ron Paul Yogi. She set up a Facebook page for folks that are into, and we think the Liberty Movement and the yoga movement go hand in hand. Wouldn't you agree?
Very, very much so. The concepts of yoga philosophy are very much intertwined with liberty. Concepts like ahimsa, which is nonviolence, satya, truth and non-stealing, go very much hand in hand, yes.
The natives are going wild. It's getting exciting here. So continue.
Yeah, I mean that's about it. It makes sense that we would want a government that doesn't force anything upon people. A lot of yogis are liberal because they have these ideas that they want a really peaceful world. They want things to be fair. But the problem is that you have to use a lot of force to make all of that happen, and using that force doesn't fit well with ahimsa, the concept of ahimsa.
And Amy and I talked about this at our house when she came by and gave me a private lesson so I could try to limber up this poor 2x4. To get this idea, she had this idea, and I encouraged her to really get it started. And I really think it's time for you to let that cat out of the bag and really push it. I know you're busy doing her private business, but is it Yogis for Ron Paul?
Ron Paul Yogis.
Ron Paul Yogis on Facebook, and people can find that right now?
Yes.
And they should friend and like that. They should.
They should like it, yes.
She's being very modest and very shy, and she wants things to be right. Now, is there some place for those that are in the area, and if you're coming through town and you want a lesson, she's actually giving private lessons and also group lessons in the city. Is there a website you can direct them to?
Yeah, amyhagerstrom.com. Please go to my website.
How do you spell it?
AMY and HAGERSTROM.com.
And like I said, Amy, she's a wonderful human being. She's worked so hard in our district. She's endlessly optimistic and shows up at the worst of times. Whenever you need her, she's there. Amy, it was lovely having you.
Thank you so much.
Have fun today. This is going to be a lot of fun, so thank you very much. Enjoy yourself. Let's go get some more boats.
All right.
AmyHagerstrom.com. With that, we're going to go ahead and go to a break, and we'll be coming right back to give you our perception from the 2012 St. Patrick's Day Chicago Day Parade for Ron Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Revolution PAC's 2012 coverage of the Chicago St. Patrick's Day Parade. And as you can see, we are the last float. We are the anchor of this parade. We are going to be the last one. And as you can see, I have one of my favorite Liberty Mavens, Erin Gallagly. How are you?
Good.
And you are going to be one of the highlights of our float. You're up here on the front, on the top that we're going to
promoting liberty.
And I noticed the torch still didn't find its light yet. Oh no, the batteries weren't working, something wasn't working.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's the energy that's going to light this up as the parade starts. So.
Well, as you see, perfect day for this. So many people out here just ready to go. I mean, I'm raring to go. I want to get down and start getting out some of that literature.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Now, is there anything?
I can't imagine how many people are in the base of it that we're going to be walking through. So there should be tens of thousands of people, seeing this promotion for Ron Paul, which is great.
I think so.
A group of people that are out with us. I mean, they certainly can't not notice us. That's for sure.
Well, I'll go ahead and get their attention when we're done interviewing our fathers. But we're going to start with one of our founding fathers here. Hi, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
My name is Chris Parrott, and I am George Washington.
George Washington, one of our founding fathers, the first president of the United States, and actually quite a leader. So what brings you here today for the Ron Paul movement?
Just I've never been at a movement like this, and it's amazing the energy and all the people and the emphasis everyone's putting on everything Ron's going to do, shut down the Fed, try to shut down, straighten things out, bring us back from the last almost 4 years of pretty much destruction that's been going on in Washington and all the corruption and crime. Hope Ron can turn it around.
And as you can see today, George Washington has a St. Patrick's Day lei. It looks great. It's a good, nice touch.
A little festive.
Little festive. And so we're going to come over to one of our other founding fathers here. Who do we have here today?
I'm Doug Casellas as Benjamin Franklin here.
And what brings you to the Ron Paul movement?
Well, what got me so interested in Ron Paul is, he's just so in line with the founding principles of this country, and he's really the only one that we can count on to follow through with what he says. He has, his voting record, his consistency. He's really the only one we can count on to follow through with it. And it's just that lack of trust in the other candidates, the flip-flopping that happens in Washington. It's those types of things. And his just pure message of individual liberty, and that's pretty much what the Constitution was designed to do.
About as succinct and as good as you can get. And I just came to the realization that Ben Franklin might have been the original mullet. Looking good. He's all business up front and he's party in the back. All right, Ben, keep it real. All right. All right. And who are you today?
My name is Matt O'Connell. I'm John Adams.
John Adams, Matt O'Connell. Now, I have to say, Matty here, he's the one that actually went through the effort of getting all these suits together, so we want to thank you for that very much. What brings you here today for Ron Paul?
Ron brings me here. I've loved him for years, and everything he says makes sense.
Now, do you remember the first thing that got you into the Ron Paul movement? Do you recall what that was?
I think it was actually a video that I watched back in the 90s. It was John Birch Society.
I think I was just interviewing myself with the camera. I blanked out, so let's do that again. What was it that brought you into the Ron Paul movement?
It was a video from the John Birch Society about the United Nations. That's what got me into the Ron Paul in the first place.
Fantastic. And this was in the 90s, so it goes back quite a ways.
Yes, quite a bit, yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you for coming out today very much. Anything or anybody you'd like to say hi to?
Hi to all of you. Vote for us, or Ron Paul. Vote.
Yeah. You guys already got voted. Well, yeah, John Adams did one term. George Washington, great first founder. And who do we have here today?
Thomas Jefferson.
My favorite of all time, Thomas Jefferson. TJ, keeping TJ as my homie. Pleasure to meet you. And what is, besides Thomas Jefferson, what is your other name today?
Josh Bobby.
Josh Bobby. And what brings you to the Ron Paul movement?
I'm a conservative, and I love seeing conservative movements, especially in Chicago, such a liberal city, the home city of Barack Obama, the president. And I really think we can get something done. We can get some attention in our city.
Yeah, our plan today is to pass out about 5,000 super brochures. So I'm going to see if Thomas Jefferson recognizes this. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that amongst these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that in order to secure these rights, governments are instituted by men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that when any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
He wrote it himself, so thank you very much, Thomas Jefferson. It's great having you today. We'll be covering you throughout the event. Let's go ahead and pan around and take a look at the parade again today. Everyone here just waiting, getting ready to start marching. That's when a lot of the real fun is going to happen. We have the kids below riding on the float up front. Great turnout with the family and the kids. It's going to be fantastic. You can see people are just waiting. Some of them are reading super brochures, just waiting to go. This parade is one of the biggest in the nation for St. Patrick's today. It takes a while. It's kind of like when you do a marathon, you're in the corral, you got to wait, and you finally get to go. That's what we're doing. We are going to be the final float in the parade, which is absolutely fantastic, surrounded by founding fathers. With that, we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to actually get the bullhorn here. I'm going to put this mic down for a second. We're going to get the troops riled up here to say hi to everybody out there in Revolution PAC land, so just 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, this is live streaming to Revolution PAC right now. Would you say hi to Ron Paul? We are going to be the anchor. This is President Paul, that's right. How about ending the set? That would be a bad idea. Hold up the signs, everybody. I know we're waiting to get this kicked off. We're going to see lovely Ron Paul supporters everywhere. It's fantastic. So who came from the farthest today? Do we have any? We have somebody who came from Georgia today. I know that. Who else? You came from where? Oregon. Oregon for the win. All the way from Oregon to support this movement. That's fantastic. Any other states here represented today? We've got Michigan. We have the other Miss, not Miss Ins. We have original Arizona. Wisconsin, Texas. France. King of France. We have canines for Ron Paul. If you'll notice down below, we have canines for Ron Paul. We love it. We love every moment of it. We'll come down and interview the dogs shortly. Nurses for Ron Paul. Do we have any other nurses here for Ron Paul today? Nurse, we have two. What's that? Librarians for Ron. Libertarian librarians. I like that. Undeclared for Ron Paul? Engineer. I'm one of those. Engineers, yes, we are for Ron Paul. Makes sense, of course. Developers for Ron Paul. Glass blower for Ron Paul. How about that? Okay. Can you make me a beer mug? I'll need it later. What's that? Husky guys for Ron Paul. We'll take those too. With the Rothbard shirt, we like Rothbard. Environmentalists for Ron Paul. That's right. The Liberty Movement does make sense when you take a look at it from a personal property standpoint. That's true. Ron Paul. Yeah! Let's hear taxpayers for Ron Paul. Freedom is I can see that. Nobody cares. Everybody just votes a ticket. They just won't vote for anybody. So I'm going to ask everybody here a question, and just openly and honestly. If Ron Paul does not get the nomination, which none of us plan to happen, will you vote for anybody else? Let's take an impromptu poll. Raise your hand if you would write in Ron Paul. And this is why I'm saying there are no other electable candidates. True. Maybe we're only 13%. Maybe we're greater than that. You can't win without that. So, Ron Paul is the only electable. He's the only one who's going to get us out of this mess. And we know that. Today we have our chance. March 20th is our primary, this Tuesday. We have over 5,000 super brochures. Let's make sure we hand out every one of those today, every single one. When you do, remind people to vote for the delegates. Make sure they do that. This is our chance to change the tide. Get beat up by stars and bars over here, so that sort of thing. The government usually beats and stuff. So make sure to get those out. Remind people on the 20th to vote for Ron Paul and make sure to vote for his delegate. So we're going to keep streaming this today. We're going to take a short break here. Thank you very much, and we're going to restream this so you guys can see yourself when this is over the next couple days. Share on your Facebook friends page. Thank Revolution PAC for doing this, and thank you guys. So Ron Paul. So freedom is not obviously popular in Chicago. We're going to go ahead and go to a short break so we can get down here off the top, and we'll be continuing our coverage of the 2012 St. Patrick's Day Parade here with the Ron Paul Group. So thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with Revolution PAC's coverage of the 2012 St. Patrick's Day Chicago Parade. I'm here with the Ron Paul Group. My throat's a little parched. It's warm out here, so I'm stuttering on my words a little bit, but it's great to be here. We want to give you some perspective of everything we're doing so you can see the flow. And we're going to continue as we march down the street. You're going to see a lot of large audience. We were just talking to our group here, and there's a lot of people walking by on the streets on both sides. And we're taking this advantage for outreach right now to hand them super brochures, talk about Ron Paul's policies and issues and so forth, and things that are important to American people. Obviously, interventionism, making sure that we balance our budget and we have sane fiscal policy, returning the federal government to its smaller role as a true republic, allowing the states through the 10th Amendment to have the authority to do what they need to take care of on their own, just truly what the country was founded upon. No coincidence, and I've got the Founding Fathers behind me talking about it, which is all kind of fun, but they're going to be with us here today. And we have a few other people to interview as we're going to go along here today, but I just kind of want to give you a feeling of what it's like to be here. If you can't be here, a lot of people couldn't make it. We can stream it afterwards, and everybody that donated their time and their resources and their energy to want to be here in the parade today, this is our way of thanking you and giving you a voice so the mainstream won't. Obviously, today the parade is going to be covered through a number of channels. But they're just going to, they'll talk about the parade. We'd be lucky, we're at the very, very end here, if they say anything about us. So we want to give you perspective from the inside of the parade, from people that you appreciate, that are in the movement, trying everything they can to do to spread liberty in our lifetime, to make Ron Paul our president in 2012, through this primary and through all the caucuses, the primary season. Obviously, to do so, we have to have the delegates. The delegates are our number, 1,144 of those we're going to need down in Tampa, Florida. Some cars I had to check on there, a little honking. We need those delegates. It's a delegate game. The mainstream has all written him off. As a matter of fact, I just read this week that they've actually removed from any of the primetime broadcasters covering his campaign, even though when he shows up to universities like he did at University of Illinois Champaign-Urbana this last week, there was over 4,500 people that showed up to the rally. It's amazing. And the media doesn't think that's a story. Or they just outright ignore him, or when they typically do talk about him, it's usually from a negative perspective. They never stop to really understand the concepts of liberty. And it's amazing that we live in a time now where the ideals of the Constitution and limited government have become crazy, have become kooky, and that the ideals of progressivism, larger government to save us from ourselves, have become the mainstream for a lot of people. Or even the idea that we have to be this belligerent force around the world, that we have to police the world in order to be a safe country. When instead, it's the golden rule that we really can influence the world and really influence people and each other through our own behaviors, where people voluntarily adopt the things that we show through goodness and not through violence or force. So We've got some founding fathers chatting behind. What are you guys talking about?
The founding fathers and I have just been discussing, and we have all agreed, and we think President Paul should sign our declaration.
President Paul should sign their declaration. He is a modern-day Thomas Jefferson. I think he would. So we thank you for having his blessings. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. Thank you. Keep up the good work, Thomas. You're my man. Thank you, George. Thank you, Ben. Love the mullet. It's fantastic. Keep up the good work. I want to interview someone over here. We actually have canines for Ron Paul, which I think is the cutest thing ever. That I think is the cutest thing I've ever seen. That should be outlawed. No, nothing should be outlawed, but that dog is ridiculously cute. Hi, why don't you, would you mind, can I do an interview with you? Come on over, please. Would you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Hi, I'm Joanna Capelli from Chicago, Illinois.
And what brings you here today?
Well, I'm here to support Ron Paul, best man for president.
Now, did you do that voluntarily, or did the dog take you out of the house saying, we have to go to a parade today?
Yes, well, the dog, you know, he does like a lot of attention. He knew people were going to be down here on Columbus Drive, so...
And what?
He picked up this outfit overnight. I woke up and he was ready to go.
And what's his name?
Oscar.
Can we say hi to Oscar down here?
Please? Yes, he would love that. Please.
Okay, so we're gonna say hi. Hi, Oscar. How you doing, buddy? Oscar is about to... would you like to say hi to the audience one more time without eating them? Oscar's hungry. He's happy. He's a Ron Paul supporter. We've got dogs for Ron Paul. Look, I wouldn't mind being this little guy. He's just a happy little guy today. But we have everybody out here. So do you ever carry other Ron... Come on back in. Do you ever carry other Ron Paul stuff with Oscar when you walk around for... Hey, he'd be a nice little billboard for Ron Paul.
Yeah, he would be. You know, I've been trying to get him into advertising, so I mean, this might be a start.
That might be a creative way to get Oscar into the movement, is bring him to the dog park with his Ron Paul.
I think so. This might be his regular outfit now.
I think it'd be a great idea. So, Oscar, as you can see, he's very popular today. I think he might be a little hungry, though. There's a little slobber on him.
There sure is.
There is a little...
now. It'll bring you luck.
It'll bring us luck. So, well, thank you very much for bringing Oscar today.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you.
Before I let you go, though, was there anything in particular that brought you to Ron Paul's message?
Well, I believe in everything he talks about, especially ending the Fed.
Monetary policy, sound currency.
Sure. It's important. We have to get our economy and our country back.
Well, thank you very much for being here today. We love having you, and we love having Oscar, buddy. Go get some food. You are the star of the show, my friend. Thanks, Oscar. See you later. So there you go. Canines for Ron Paul. He could be a walking billboard for the movement himself. Looks like they're firing. So are we beginning to move here yet? I don't think so. I still think we have about, probably a half an hour, 20 minutes before we get going. This is one of the largest St. Patrick's Day parades in the country. It takes a long time to get that thing through. We're going to keep on covering it. People here are pretty anxious. Like, come on, let's get going. Once we get going, it's going to be pretty exciting. There's going to be tens of thousands of people downtown watching this parade. It's going to be pretty fun. So let's go ahead and come on up and interview the marshal of our parade. The marshal has the nicest set of wheels in the parade, as you can see. Hey, Marshal! So this is going to be, aside from our veterans, this is going to be the lead point of our parade. This beautiful, beautiful Buick Electra, 1966, I believe, with a 445 nailhead. It's a 445 cubic inch nailhead engines. I'm a car guy. I like cars. Marshal, you are our marshal. Why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
My name's Bruce Finnegan. I'm from Calgary, Alberta.
He came from Calgary, Alberta. And what brought you down to Chicago?
They dye the river green, and it's a hell of a party.
It's a hell of a party. And you're a Ron Paul supporter?
Correct.
This is a wonderful car. I believe it's a 1966 Buick Electra?
That's correct.
With a 445 cubic inch nailhead engine, correct?
It's actually a 401 cube, 445 torque. The dyno's out at 5 1/4.
It's a couple ponies. It gets a good, I'm sure it consumes a little bit of gas, but that's fantastic.
Its best is 18, its worst is 6. MPG.
Now, do you plan on having people with you inside of the car later?
The car will hold 4 in the boot, 8 on the fenders, 1 in the passenger.
It almost sounds like a bus. That's a lot of car. We like a car by the mile. I like it. So how long was the drive from Alberta?
1,856 miles.
And you came all the way in this beautiful car?
Correct, in headwinds. Serious headwinds.
That's a Ron Paul supporter right there. In class. Look at that. White interior. Yeah, it's a white interior, green car. Now, how many years have you had this car?
This is my fifth mid-60s Buick. I run them up to 180,000 miles and roll out at the Bear-Jackson.
Turn them and then go ahead and get yourself another one?
Another, and another.
Down in Arizona. So you're a fan of the Buicks. Any other Buicks you like?
Wildcats and Electras are fine. We use this to pull antique mahogany boat up to 10,000 pounds. 4-horse Clydesdale trailer up to 12,000 pounds. And get around to various rodeos and boat shows.
Well, we thank you for coming out. We're going to keep covering you as you are, and we're going to rebroadcast this too. So anybody else you want to say hi to, or anybody you'd like to say hi to while you came a long way here. Anybody like to say hi?
Hi, Tammy.
He said hi to Tammy. Well, thank you very much. You're going to lead our parades. It's good having you. That's a lot, 1,800 miles, I think you said. That's a long way to come. It's fantastic. It's a great car. It's a great movement. I mean, it's just the passion of it. Actually, we have a veteran up here. Let's just chat with this veteran. Gentlemen, we're live on RevPAC. How are you?
Good.
Well, interview both of you. So, bring it in together. So you are two veterans for Ron Paul. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Would you both introduce yourself to our audience?
Mike Hutchins. I was Army National Guard for 6 years.
Ken Habenstreit, and I was with the Marine Corps for 4 years.
And have you served in any wars or any overseas engagements?
Yes, 2 overseas tours, one in Vietnam and one at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
And have you served in any overseas tours?
No, I served from 93 to 99 between wars. So.
Yeah, in between. So what brings you here today for Ron Paul's message? What is it that you like?
Well, I think getting away from unjust wars, promoting peace, and also a free economy is important to me. So.
And I think the message from veterans is so important because everyone says, oh, he's a non-interventionist, he's weak, but I think he just truly understands foreign policy, and he understands, I mean, he's the last person in the military up there. He's a veteran himself, as you guys know. And when people hear your perspective, they can't say, oh, you're just a sissy or a nilly or whatever it is they call you. What brings you to his message?
Well, I'm here because I was for Ron Paul ever since he ran back in 1988. So I'm a long-time supporter of him. I believe that we should go to a commodity-based currency so we have value behind it. And using gold and silver standard will give you a basis for wealth standard to hold up to. When you print currency, you have to have the wealth backing that currency that you print.
Rather just obviously than a paper fiat currency, which we've been on to ever since the Bretton Woods Agreement, right? Finally collapsing that to a total fiat currency. Is there any other message besides monetary policy from Ron Paul that you really appreciate?
Well, our foreign policy is why should we be like an empire that England used to be? You know, they had an empire and now they got a slum because they ate up all their wealth as far back as the turn of the century, and then World War I bankrupted them completely. And then ever since then, the international bankers were using us to play the role England was for them all those years.
Well, and it's fascinating when you take a look at history, which could be our greatest teacher. Very few people do, but when you take a look at the rise and collapse of empires, they almost always go through an inflationary bust cycle and through overexpansion, whether it had been Portugal or Spain or the Roman. You can go back to the Roman Empire even before that, and then more recently countries like England and so forth that really caused that to happen. We've been on that same path. It's very difficult, and it's a hard thing for us to get the message out to people, but we're working on it. I think people like you really help that message because you obviously volunteer to serve and put your life on the line for defending the Constitution.
And all our conflicts ever since World War II ended were internationalist adventures like Korea, Vietnam. We didn't go to war.
None of them constitutionally declared.
Right.
And that's the big thing that people don't realize.
Declare it, win it, and come to peace treaty terms, in terms that can be enforced.
And we would absolutely agree. That's the reason the House of Representatives was even formed to begin with. It was supposed to be the people's house. It was supposed to be our decision to go to war, not our leaders, not the president like a king. With that, we're going to go ahead and go to break and come back. So, we're actually not going to go to break yet. So I'm gonna stay with these guys because this is pretty important. I want to get back to that topic of the House of Representatives, though. a lot of my friends that I talk to, so many people think that the president has the authority to do so anymore. And the reason it was ever set up and established to begin with is so that we decided that our wealth and our lives had to be put on the line through our representatives to say this is something we need to do. And the last time that was done, it was in World War II. Past that point, have you seen, from your perspective, have you seen any of the, you call them adventures, but any of the wars or belligerents we've had overseas? Have you gentlemen, do you think any of them were just following World War II? You served in Vietnam, for example. We'll start with you.
Yes, I did, but that was a continuation of the French colonial war. That the French were ousted back in, I think, 1954. But before that, back in the 30s, they had a problem with the Vietnamese and I think the Laotians, because they had a colonial revolution going on as far back as the 30s in Indochina.
And then we get involved and the rest is history.
Plus, the Japanese took over the rubber fields in Vietnam and Laos and Cambodia that Michelin used to have. And the French were kicked out by the Japanese. They were occupied by the Japanese, and then the French colonials came back after the war.
Now, any wars, and that's a great history lesson for a lot of our viewers. We'll finish off with you and then go to a long break. Any wars that you think since World War II that we've necessarily been justified in?
Well, if you actually do the history and what actually took place, I think I don't believe any of them were actually justified. And the reason I feel that way is because we've had this interventionist policy in the United States. We put Saddam Hussein in power. And then we go back and tell people we have to take him out later. When we probably could have just left it alone and let them figure it out. And we're seeing it today with the Arab Spring, where the people eventually will rise up and take out the leaders, and there's no reason for us to have someone we need there. So.
All right, gentlemen, I really appreciate your perspective. We're going to go ahead and rebroadcast so you can see it later, but we're going to be covering the rest of the event. With that, we're going to go ahead and go to a break, ladies and gentlemen, so stay tuned with us with Revolution PAC's coverage of the 2012 Chicago St. Patrick's Day Parade. Fantastic. The guy that brought this bullhorn today, you are my new hero. Yeah. When the literature gets going, that was almost time. Whoever brought the water, thank you. We are live again here. I've got a bullhorn in one hand and the microphone in the other hand. I'm Forrest Jellick with Revolution PAC. Here covering the 2012 Chicago St. Patrick's Day Parade. This is with the Ron Paul group. So you can see behind me, we have a really, really fantastic group. We have veterans leading the point here today with the parade. A bunch of people stacked back. We've actually just kind of got in position. It looks like the parade is kind of moving up ahead of time. We're going to be staged here for a little bit. Then we're going to get going. Basically, we're going to start with our veterans. We're going to have the convertible come in behind them. Behind them will be the people handing out literature on both sides, following up with the floats and our banners. A lot of signs. We have a lot of messages here for Ron Paul. The things that he stands by. Federal Reserve, defender of the Constitution, restoring America, the points of his campaign that we want to highlight today. We actually just had another mainstream media outlet come through and interview us. Actually, they interviewed me. It'll be interesting to see if they put it up or not, because they asked me about Ron Paul, and they said, with all the polls, with Ron Paul down in the polls, what do you guys really feel? And I said, well, my basic response is that they've done a pretty good job of blacking out the true message, and that's that he's actually winning a lot of states relative to the delegate count, not the popularity contest. We'll see if that makes it. If it doesn't, we'll make sure that it makes it here on Revolution PAC so we can tell you the inside story. We don't know if he's going to win or not. But he's not out of the race, not by any stretch of the imagination, and he's collecting delegates. He probably just took Iowa, Maine, Colorado, Minnesota, very strong showings in those states in the delegate count with a lot of other states that are unknown. So they're not going to tell you that, we will. Today we're pretty excited. Again, we got our veterans up in front, we have the folks behind. our float way back there. You can see it stacked pretty deep with Ron Paul folks. We have Back to the Future to my right. we have a DeLorean. I've still got my sunglasses on, but my eyes are burning. I know I'm not supposed to wear sunglasses on television or on the web, but right now it's bright out here. We love every moment of it. It's fantastic. Veterans, why don't you say hi to the RevPAC audience? Say hi. You're on point. Scott, you want to say hi to the RevPAC guys? We interviewed you earlier. He's leading the charge here today on front. Come back up. You're going to take the point today in today's parade the whole time. You got a great-looking group here.
Oh, it's great. I'm so happy that they're all here, and all the veterans coming out today just really shows, that we're the choice of the troops, Ron Paul, all day.
It's pretty hot out here, man.
It's pretty hot, but, got enough water. We're going to do it. Yeah. March off, show everybody what's going on.
I'm pretty excited to see the crowd response. What do you think? I mean, it's a bit early, but
I think it's amazing. It's so great that everybody's going to see, Ron Paul, and how everybody is going to get our message, and they're going to know from today that we're out here in Chicago, and we're going to take over, and the revolution's alive and well over here.
Led by our veterans. All right, thanks. Good seeing you again. We're going to keep you on the show, so thanks, guys. We're going to catch you as we go along. So that's going to be the point to our parade today. Let's go ahead and walk back through the crowd here and take a look. How you doing?
I'm great, thanks.
We're live on RevPAC right now. This is so you're here today with Ron Paul. Why don't you introduce yourself to the audience?
Hi, I'm Marta.
Hi, Marta. It's great to have you today. And why are you here?
I'm here to support my favorite candidate, Ron Paul, for Republican nominee, hopefully.
All right, and you're here to spread. You have a bunch of super brochures in your hand with?
Yes, we do, with actually our gold coins, which are chocolate, but reverting to gold standard.
A little something special for the kids. And what is it that brings you to the Ron Paul movement that you really enjoy?
I'm kind of studying economics and computer science, but it's more for like capitalism, free market, which I really support because I think economic freedom is the most important freedom, and it provides a lot of other freedom for us. So, I mean, I agree with everything he says.
And I would agree with her. And so we actually have the Ron Paul convertible in the house coming up, as you can see, staged in. That will be right behind our veterans. Very exciting group. It's going to be playing great. Say hi to the RevPAC crowd. Wish you all were here. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a really sharp car. A 66 Buick. Not a bad ride for Ron Paul's group today. Carrying his message. We're going to be playing a lot of Liberty music as we go along today. Golden State Bombs, if you haven't heard it. We love that song. Amy Allen, this is great. We're just really excited today. We want to get this going. I can see up ahead right now. It's kind of moving, but it's like, again, it's like any of those things. You're staged in pretty deep. You're waiting for it to go. Let's go ahead and walk through this crowd right here and take a look at everybody that's coming along. Dan, good to see you. See you. Thanks, Tristan. There's our Ron Paul cheerleader. And Jordan, look at this great group. Just a great group of people. Great message.
Judge a man by the fruit of his labor.
That's right. Judge a man by the fruit of his labor. I think that's a pretty good standard. Another guy, Ryan, in my district here out today for RevPAC. Very good. Very nice. Look at that. It's going to be great. A lot of literature to go out today, so we're just waiting to get this thing started. Let's go ahead and take a short break here before we come back with our coverage of the 2012 Chicago Day Parade. We thank you for joining us. We can't wait till it gets started so you can see the crowd, see their response. We're going to be going through this whole thing, passing out our literature, doing what we need to do to get that message out for the March 20th primary here in Illinois, making sure people cast their votes for the Ron Paul delegates. So stay tuned. We'll be coming right back. Thanks, guys. I need that freaking break. Oh,
yeah. You're grabbing on top here. Just hold on top.
Force, you grab it.
Then you just...
Force. You grab it.
Thank you. Sorry, guys.
Go ahead and put it down.
Well, we're live right now.
If you want to, that'll be... Someone's going to be responsible. Can I get Warren before he starts videotaping?
It's on the
Oh, it is? Oh,
no, he's got it. Can you give me a minute?
Yeah, sure.
To get this back on the race?
Okay?
Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
I didn't want to interrupt you during your...
No, thanks.
Yeah, we're just... mic off? Yeah, we're just gonna shoot it. It's gonna be boring. They're gonna just intersperse it with commercials. And then we're gonna call it. Yeah, I mean, it's almost. Yeah, we can do that. It's just gonna be this is 2 hours. Just to film it. We're live, so don't just film me. What? Don't just film me. Put it like down the street. This is filming reinforced talking. Oh, sorry, I didn't know it was supposed to be. No, I didn't hear you. But yeah, the game plan is we're filming. That was pretty cool. Tell them the strap that holds the poles of the rig, bottom of it broke, so they're going to probably get a bunch of jerky shot. Yeah.
Hey, we're going to have some parade space here, right?
I hope so.
I hope so too. You're walking backwards.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know. What happened to the card? It ripped right through it. I tried doubling it up, but it's still not holding.
Wake up! Google Ron Paul! Veterans for Ron Paul!
fantastic. For the veterans that took point, let's hear it for them. For Tony, who built the floats. Tony, where are you at? He might be with the Tony. For Tony. For Anthony, Brian, Maddie, all the people, Joe, all the people, and they're in the car right now. The help volunteer this week. Let's hear it for them. They did an amazing job. And most importantly for you, because you stand up for liberty. You could have stayed home today. You could have been at a bar. That's where I would have rather been, frankly. Hang on, friends. But you came here to stand for liberty. You're beautiful. So this one's for you guys, for you. St. Patrick's Day, we do need to do a photo op. We need to get on the hill together, send out a picture and a message in the heart of Obama's backyard. That Ron Paul is strong. Ron Paul is strong. So, right following this, Jack's Tap is open. I handed out the flyers earlier. Jack's Tap. I'm heading right over there. I'm going to get something cold and refreshing. I suggest that you do maybe 3 or 4 of them. We'll see. But let's get a picture together before we head out. This is as good as any. Let's huddle it on up. Bring it on in. Bring it on in. Bring it on in. Come on in. We've got RevPAC filming this live, and so we can stream this later too. So we'll bring it on in, everybody.
RevPAC rocks! RevPAC!
Bring it on in, Ramon. like showing up to a swimming pool with anchors underneath. So we're streaming with RevPAC, and I'm going to interview a couple of you. So I'm going to come on up and let's do this. It's Forrest Jellick with Revolution PAC 2012 Chicago St. Patrick's Day Parade with the Ron Paul group. Look at these guys; they're absolutely amazing. Dojo.
Yes, sir.
You look fantastic.
Well, thank you, sir.
So I'm Forrest, and I'm with Revolution PAC. What's your name?
Devin O'Neill.
Devin O'Neill, and you having a good time today?
I'm having a great time.
How's that Ron Paul group look?
It's fucking amazing. Well, sorry, I'm not supposed to say that. It's amazing. It's awesome. A big fan of Ron Paul. I think he's got great ideas, and I like what he stands for. So I was happy when I walked up and I saw them here, and I was like, I want to be a part of that. So.
And you look like you're kung fu kicking, so thank you for coming out today.
It's the Irish Day Parade. I had to be a part of it.
All right,
thank you.
We'll get you in here. All right. Hey, would you like to be in? We're live on RevPAC right now. Would you like to? Any guys? Any one of you? Come on in here. She's like, I came along, but she has an opportunity to learn. So you're a big Ron Paul fan. What's your name?
Absolutely, Jonathan Albrecht.
Well, thank you for coming out today, Jonathan. And so your girlfriend came out. How are you, buddy? We'll get you next. This guy's great. We'll get you next, buddy. Woo! Right. So, what brought you? What's your favorite position with Ron Paul?
That he wants to restore our Constitution and bring the troops home that Obama promised, and end the Fed in a balanced budget.
Said it all, man. Well, thank you for coming out today. Hi, buddy. Come on over here. What's your name?
JJ.
JJ, how are you today? You look fantastic.
Fantastic to you.
Well, thank you very much. So did you see all the Ron Paul people here today?
Yeah.
They're very excited, huh? Nice-looking bunch. Did you have a good time today?
Yeah.
Great. Did you want to say hi to Mommy or Daddy?
I don't only I have my dad.
Okay, you want to say hi to Dad?
Yeah.
Say hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Ron Paul. Well, thanks for coming along, buddy. You look fantastic. Enjoy your day, okay? All right. Very good. The young and the old, everybody. They're here for Ron Paul. Let's come on up into the crowd. We'll just randomly select a few people and close this out before the day's over. Come on up. Hey,
thank you.
I'm Forrest Jellick here with Revolution PAC, and so why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the people?
I'm Nicholas, and I'm a fellow freedom lover.
Fellow freedom lover. So how was it today?
I would definitely say we stole the show. You could see the people on the side, like, who are these people, where do they come from, and we were loud and powerful today.
Loud and proud and there for liberty. And we waited a long time before we got to go down that line.
Plenty worth it. Absolutely worth it. It's worth it for liberty and freedom.
I absolutely agree. And little things like that got the message. So did you hand out a bunch of super pushers?
Absolutely.
Get in here. All right. Well, thank you. We're going to get Aaron, so thank you very much. Aaron, get on in here. Everybody, Lady Liberty, your favorite Revolution PAC pundit, Aaron Gallagher. How are you?
Hello. Good. What a great turnout. The crowd was just going nuts. We also even had one of the floats behind us. They had Lamborghinis. 4 Lamborghinis come through that took Ron Paul signs. So they were sporting Ron Paul, too.
Lamborghinis for Ron Paul. Do we have a new group?
Yeah. So, I mean, the message is spreading, I guess.
It was fun. And you've got to be hot in this, yeah? No, or is it okay?
Well, it's just hot out here. I'm probably going to get a sunburn, and I'm going to have the, form of a shamrock on my face, but
you're Irish, so
I
that...
should put Ron Paul on my forehead and then let the sun get a sunburn that says Ron Paul on the top, so...
I think that'd be a good sunburn. That's a sunburn worth having.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to go... Are you going to the festivities afterwards?
Likely I will, but I am going to try to get out of this.
Sorry, well...
So get into my more St. Patrick's Day Ron Paul t-shirt, St. Patrick's Day out gear.
We would love to have you. I'll see you over there. So, thanks, Aaron. We had a great time today. Lots of love. You got to see us finish off strong. It was fantastic. I see you with a wonderful... Why don't you come on over here, sweetheart? Come on over here. Hi, what's your name?
My name's Shannon.
Hi, Shannon. I'm Forrest. Pleasure to meet you. How are you today? I think we're friends. Shannon and I, we're friends on Facebook anyway.
Yes, we are.
How are you today?
Pretty good. I'm thrilled about today. I'm super excited everybody came out, took time out of their day, not only to enjoy the weather, but to support liberty and freedom. What better reason is there?
And the people seemed really receptive along the line. I had a lot of hands were out, and I'd say vote for peace, and people were like, yeah. What did you feel like your response was?
I felt a very positive response, especially when they see a sign saying Veterans for Ron Paul. They automatically respond because they're sick of the wars. They're tired of it. They know that our troops want to come home, so what other choice is there?
Yeah. And the other decision, we have choice between peace and the most bedazzled phone cover I think I've ever seen. Shazam! It just needs a Ron Paul on here, and that'd be a heck of a seller.
I wish they would sell them.
You got to work on that. That's a good business opportunity.
Definitely, absolutely. Absolutely.
So what topic with Ron Paul brought you to the Liberty Movement?
What? There is really no topic that he hasn't discussed that would make me do anything else. I went to the rally at U of I, and I was floored. I cried my eyes out, you know, not because we idolize him, but we love his ideas, we love his message. I'm a mother. I have a 16-year-old son. He tells me when he comes home from school that all he does is talk about Ron Paul to his teachers and other staff. He passes out brochures for him. We have freshmen, you know, all the way down to middle school going for Ron Paul. So, you know, with the youth and the independents and Democrats alike, along with our Republicans, I mean, there's no way this guy can't get elected.
That's an absolutely fantastic story, and I like how your son, I mean, I'm so excited because I think the youth are actually going to go ahead and bring it forward, and your son is already there.
He is, and I'm so proud of him. I couldn't be more proud. So if we can't take care of this, I know our youth will.
I agree with that. We're in for the long haul. It's just not today, and it's not tomorrow, but this is a long-time thing that we're all dedicated to.
Absolutely.
All right, anybody you'd like to say hi to or any last message you'd like to leave our viewers with?
I would like to say hello to Brad Bell and to Scott Kimmel. Brad Bell is a veteran. And he's a major supporter of Ron Paul. He's in California right now, but wishes he was here because all throughout Illinois we're doing parades today. So, yeah, anybody who supports freedom and liberty, I'm with ya.
All right, Shan. Well, thank you very much. It was good having you. So another Liberty, lovely having you. Another fantastic Ron Paul supporter. We're getting ready to wind this down and get on with our day's activity. We'll get a couple more interviews and go ahead and bring this to close. Finish with amazing energy. And it was a very short parade, very packed, very fun. I mean, it was amazing the turnout here. We got a group up here, people we want to go ahead. We have another veteran here, actually. Want to come on over here? We're live rhyme streaming on RevPAC. You were part of the veterans group here today. Would you go ahead and introduce yourself to our stream?
Sure. My name is Jerry Hebert. I'm from Porter County, Indiana. And we have quite a Ron Paul gathering group over there that's very active, very dynamic. And we wanted to come and contribute to this neat thing you guys came up with.
Well, we appreciated having you here. How did it feel? Did you enjoy yourself today?
Oh, my, yes. Yeah. I'm all pumped.
I'm pretty pumped up, too. I think you veterans did an amazing job leading the front.
I'm 77, so I don't get a chance to march anymore. And then when I was in the service, I really did enjoy marching.
So you got one chance today to march again.
I surely did, and hopefully it's useful in getting our man in office.
Yeah, we hope so, too, and we think the veterans are a good point for that because you understand defending the Constitution and your oath. And we thank you for that. So,
thank you, Forrest.
All right. Take care today. We appreciate having you. Really do. Really appreciate having you. There you have it. Another one of our veterans for Ron Paul that took the point in our parade today. Just a fantastic group. A lot of people here that really loved the spirit of liberty, able to get the message out. We passed out thousands of flyers today, a lot of candy for the kids. Hopefully somebody's going to go home and see some of those brochures and look at some of the points. We also had the Slim Jims from the campaign with the issue cards that we tried to selectively hand out to certain people just to get that message out. So it was really, truly an amazing event today. It took a long time to get going because the parade is one of the biggest in the country to get going. Once we got it, it was on. And I want to bring this gentleman in. Maybe we're going to close with it because I think you are one of the farthest that came today. If I understood, hi, why don't you introduce yourself to the stream?
My name's Corey. I'm a Ron Paul supporter. This is my first Ron Paul event. Got actually a very surprisingly positive response from the crowd.
Now, where did you come from?
Oregon.
Came from Oregon today, and he's at a Ron Paul event in Chicago. Beautiful, beautiful news. We got to bring it in a little tighter. Come on inside. All right, we'll bring that sign in. So, for your first event coming out today, what did you think? Do you really enjoy it?
Yeah, I was surprised. It was an overwhelming response. Just all the volunteers here. Everybody here is just the same as, you know, me, the volunteer. You know, it's a grassroots effort. I was very happy with the response we got from the crowd. A lot of people that I handed the flyers to were more than willing to read them, and we got a positive response from them. And
that's fantastic. You plan on attending other events when you get a chance?
Absolutely.
That's great.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate you coming all the way out today.
Thanks
so
a lot.
Fantastic, man. Thanks a lot. Take care very much.
Tom Woods 2016.
We love Tom Woods. For those that watch Revolution PAC, we're all fan of Tom Woods' work. He's a fantastic patriot as well. So I think we're going to go ahead and start bringing this to a close, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming in and getting our perspective on the parade. This is Forrest Jellick with Revolution PAC, sending good liberty vibes to you, giving you your message and your time. Thanks for joining Revolution PAC. Keep up the good fight.